Some people didn't believe I have it. Here it is. You see that number 5 right there? Right there, baby. This is the Fujifilm XT5 and I was given only 72 hours with this camera. This is going back to Fujifilm Portugal headquarters tomorrow. And in today's video, I'm going to try to answer all the questions you guys posted on my community tab. Let's go. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about this bad boy right here, the Fujifilm XT5. And boy, do I like this camera. Like I said, I spent 3 days with this camera, took some shots, filmed some stuff, pixel peep. And if you guys want to take in my experience with the XT2, the XT3, and the XT4, it would seem like I have years of experience when it comes to handling an XT5. I just want to say that I may gloss over a few questions because I just didn't have enough time to test out everything that you guys posted. Hopefully once I get more time with this, I can answer more of your questions. But let's go answer some questions you guys wrote in about the Fujifilm XT5. So the Fujifilm XT5 has this auto power off temperature setting mode. You're going to have to look into the menu system and look for it, but I've changed that mode to high because I don't want the camera shutting down on me for anything dumb. I remember when I first got my Sony a7 IV, it would turn off after 20 minutes of use. And I didn't want to go through that ordeal with the XT5. So once I got it, I switched it right away. And you guys should too when you guys get it in your hands. I did try to make it overheat. I filmed at 6.2K 24p and at f-log2 and at 320 megabits per second. I just left the camera go on and it filled up both my memory cards at 128 gigs each. And that took about 1 hour and 33 minutes to fill up both memory cards. And afterwards, I removed the battery and the memory cards and I just touched the camera to see if it got warm. It did get warm. My action camera, the GoPro 10, gets super warm after like an hour of filming. Like super warm. It almost feels like it's gonna burn a hole in your pocket. But this camera never got to that level with over an hour and a half of shooting. So I would say it was good. And I didn't want to continue on trying to make this camera overheat. It's not my camera. I didn't want to fuck anything up. I didn't want to be disrespectful or anything, and I didn't want to keep sitting there for however long it may take. But in an hour and a half of recording, it got like mildly warmer. So this thing could probably go on for as long as you have batteries or for as long as you have memory cards. So I normally shoot lossless compressed for everything. I really don't see the benefit of shooting uncompressed, but the XT5's uncompressed RAW is about 87.3 megabytes per shot. And when you shoot lossless compressed, it is around 40.7 megabytes. And the straight out of camera JPEGs are around 26 megabytes. So if you're getting this camera, make sure you have money for storage because it's about to be damn expensive. Autofocusing feels good. It feels great. It's stickier than the XT4 and I was satisfied with its autofocusing for both video and photo during my time with it. So if you guys are coming from XT2, XT3, XT4, you guys are going to be really happy with this camera and its stickiness. Like, it's not as sticky as the XH2S, but with the shots that I took with it, I am very satisfied. Like, I'm super excited about this camera. The XT5 feels like an XT2 to me. It's light, it looks sleek, and it's sexy as fuck. But I wish the hand grip was a bit bigger. I wish the XT line had a grip like an XS10. It would probably benefit from it. But overall, the tiny form factor will inspire people to go out and shoot more. And I had a lot of fun shooting with this camera. It makes me want to get one now. But I already got the XH2 and the XH2S that don't need a third camera. Maybe the XS20 will be a stripped down version of the XT4, and I really love my XS10, so I'm very curious on what they're going to put in that camera, the XS20, if they're ever going to make another update of the XS10. Yes, both the front and the back dial are pressable, which doesn't make any sense to me. XH2 and XH2S didn't have the pressable button because that would have been super helpful just to have another button to map or remap things, right? A lot of people like to map their ISO to this front wheel right here, but I am glad that they didn't remove it in the XT5, but it pisses me off that it's in the XT5 and not in the XH line. I also wanted to add the Fujifilm XT5 also has the MCS toggle right here to change your focusing mode from manual focus to single point autofocus to continuous autofocusing. And that's just a faster way of changing your autofocus instead of pressing it on the XH2 and then using your dials to go press up and down to choose which autofocusing mode you want. And then the third step is to press the enter button. So that's 3 steps. It just takes 1 step to change. So I find that I would prefer this thing on the XH line as well. Also, I prefer the grip on the XH2, but I like how small the XT5 feels in my hands because again, it's very unassuming. I really like unassuming cameras because it doesn't look, again, it doesn't look assuming. It doesn't draw attention to itself. People will look at this and they wouldn't believe how much horsepower is in this camera. This is small compared to my XH2S. So I'm just imagining the new XS20 coming maybe like down in the future, how small that would be, and that would be even more unassuming. So I'm just really excited about this camera and how it looks. I do prefer the grip to be a little bit bigger, but I understand why they did this, to keep it look uniform and look like a sleek camera for the core audience of Fuji. So this screen has been so divisive. It's been dividing people up. I gotta give Fuji props because they are taking Apple's strategy by introducing a feature in year 1, and by the 2nd year, they remove the said feature. Everybody gets mad and upset and then complains and cries. And then by the 3rd year, they reintroduce it back to the market for you guys, and you guys will eat it up and the sales will just skyrocket for all the people that are dying to upgrade. I honestly don't care either way, but if I had to choose, I prefer the flip out screen. When I had this camera on the gimbal, it was hard for me to view the LCD screen on the back. The back arm of the gimbal was in the way of it, so there was no really maneuvering around that. I don't notice a difference. I'm not a filmmaker, so I may not be like the best person to ask this question. I just honestly just go out and shoot. Give me a camera and I go shoot with it. I shot 4K 60p footage and slowed it down on a 24p timeline with the XT5. And I have to say that this is one of the best looking footage I've seen from a Fujifilm camera besides my XH2 and my XH2S. The only thing is the 4K 60 has a 1.22 times crop on it. But other than that, I didn't notice anything when I was using that 4K 60 mode. The footage was absolutely beautiful. I thought there was going to be like a drop in quality, but I saw no such thing on this camera. Put this camera in capable hands and you're going to get great results regardless of the camera's shortcomings and flaws. If you're just asking for my opinion, I think the XT5 is going to cater towards the core Fuji audience. If you like the retro dials, the 3-way tilt screen, and the smaller form factor, the XT5 is the better choice. I'm pretty sure that's geared towards the photography purists. The XH2 just has more features that caters to video shooters. There's 8K video, there's a full-size HDMI port. The XT5 has a micro, just so you guys know. And the XT5 also doesn't have a headphone jack for you guys to monitor your audio, but the XH2 does. The XH2 also has a flip out screen and the EVF is sharper and brighter than the one inside the XT5. And also the XH2 has a better grip. Yes, absolutely. The video specs are great. You got F-Log2, you got the 6.2K, you got the 4K HQ, 4K 60. This camera is very powerful. It has IBIS for a steadier looking footage. And I gotta say that the IBIS on this camera looks a bit more natural than the XH2. The only thing is the LCD screen isn't a flip out, so you can't really monitor yourself. But I remember filming my YouTube videos on an XT3, which also didn't have a flip out screen. I would ask my wife Hillary to frame me up, and then I would have the tally lights blinking up so that I know that it was recording me, and all I had to do is just stand still while I talk, and it was good. It was a good it was a good YouTube camera at the time. So I'm pretty sure the XT5 will be even a better YouTube camera. There are no worms in Lightroom for the XT5. I don't think I've seen worms since the XT2. The XT3 and the other Fuji cameras from that sensor didn't have worms. I don't think it did because it looked fine on my end. So yeah, the XT5, no worms. Alright, I hope this video helps with any questions you may have, and for the questions I didn't answer, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't because I didn't have enough time. Maybe in the future I would have more time with this. And I want to say special thanks to Fujifilm Portugal. I appreciate you loaning me this camera to play with for the weekend. And guys, do me a favor and subscribe to my channel if you guys like Fujifilm content. I have more Fuji content coming up if that's your vibe. And once again, my name is Tongue, and I'll see you in the next video.